going on in Milwaukee is covered in about 2 pages. So far off Broadway, we can't find them. Okay, here's what they have. Soap maker Ralph Brenner, son of Dr. Brenner, tells stories about his eccentric father. Remember the kooky exhalations on the label of your liquid peppermint soap? Sings songs and gives out the soap. See page 164. Oh, man. There's Dad.
Wait, this no shit, right?
No.
You put a disposal. I'm just going to delete her.
Do you take credit cards here, ma'am? That's fine. How much is one of these? I'll take one from the bottom. You are in luck. You know why? You sound really excited about it. They're writing up my father, who deserves a write-up. My father escaped from an insane asylum in 1946. He was obsessed with telling the world through a soap label. He was Jewish, my mother was Catholic. That we're all children of the same God, we should care for each other in this planet. Does that sound crazy to you? Well, yeah, he was totally blind and called himself the happiest blind man on earth. But here's what's neat. I have faith that the common people would do the same thing. If you ever inherited a $6 million company, wouldn't you remember the low wages and no benefits? Would you help people? Michael Eisner gets $1.2 billion, every other year to run Mickey Mouse and the boys. Do you think with that salary, the workers are getting great salaries? Nope. They're making $6, $7 an hour sweeping the streets. Let me give you a hug. Can you step out here? There's a quote on there you're going to love. God must have loved the common people of the earth. He made so many of them. See, I was a dishwasher for 3 years. I was on welfare, and I never forget the people like you. A few drops, your whole body will tingle.
ABC that the wise man in the temple, nice and tent and sandal maker, is he a teacher of righteousness of light. The real Rabbi Hillel taught the 12-year-old Jesus to raise, train, evolve, unite the whole human race in one God face. That moral ABC is the most important set of teachings that help mankind to survive. The essence of it is that it is full truth. It is absolute full truth. At all times, to all human beings, any place on earth, the moral ABC is solid as a rock. To summarize it, it says on 6 million peppermint soap labels, quote, the second coming of God's law. Mohammed's Arabs 1948 found Israel Essene scrolls, and Einstein's Hillel proof that as certain as no 6-year-old can grow up free without the ABC, so certain can no 12-year-old survive free without the moral ABC.
I became interested in it when I used this peppermint soap. Boy, that stuff had a zing. And then I read the label, and I couldn't imagine a soap doing so many things. You know, you can clean your pets with it. You can wash your car with it. You can clean your teeth, shampoo, and anything that soap will do, you know, you name it, it'll do it. And then I became interested in anybody that on one label, this was, it can tell you about Halley's Comet, discusses religion, science, and also the fact that Dr. Brodder is allegedly a nephew of Albert Einstein. So, in his own way, he's a kind of a brilliant nonconformist, let's put it that way. And we enjoyed it, and I figured that anybody who was a chemist, a rabbi, and a 7th-generation soap maker was an interesting person to cultivate.
Side 1, tape 3. Listen, children, eternal Father, eternal One.
Marx wrote 1844, one world without Jews, causing 66 million murders, many tortured, blinded, and terrorism.
But Gorbachev found, surely God on high gave us enough wisdom to unite all nations. What's an apology we rabbis owe all nations for not teaching the mortal ABCs, all one God faith?
All one God faith, for we're all one or none. All one, all one, all one.
We're one, all one. Exceptions, eternally none, absolute none.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You've got some 60s folk music in there. You've got something from the New Testament. You've got Gorbachev, you know. And Marx and Gorbachev sort of disagreeing with Marx. Marx only getting half the picture. It's not easy to understand if you try to analyze it. Just read it and, you know, hear it.
All one, all one, all one.
He had a tyrannical father, Hebrew praying, not wanting him to really enjoy life, and emphasizing Jews as the chosen people. Fed up with my father being a Zionist, bringing in politics, because the Lion Dead quoted over and over that you mix soap with politics once more and you're out of here. And I think the out of here was his one-way ticket to America.
My father moved into a neighborhood. My father was very much like Frank Ford. Very hard-working, working till he had a big factory and everything. Then he had himself a son. Then he moved into a wealthy German neighborhood. And the 4-year-old boy didn't know why the other German boys wouldn't play with him. Till one day they said, come on over, want to play, Emil. And when I went over there, they had a 5-gallon pail of pee and dumped it over me and says, damn Jew. And I run back to my mother crying and says, Jude, Jew, what is that? And my mother was weeping while she cleaned me up. She said, forget it, forget it.
This is the soap from the 30s and before the Nazis nationalized the factory. David, here's the piece of Metaform soap that I promised. It is probably 65 years old. The factory was jointly owned by 3 Heilbronner brothers, Sigmund, Bertolt, and Karl. Karl immigrated to the U.S. in 1936. Sigmund died in 1939, and your great-grandfather wound up having to agree to a forced sale to Nazi owners before losing his life in the camps.
These are Dad's parents. Lotte and Margaret have met them in Switzerland. It's 1938. They're still running the plant, but the Jewish stuff has started. I think Crystal Night was 1937-38. And they have the money and tell them to come to America with them. And the father says he's German, this will blow over, Hitler will be forgotten. A couple years later, they get a postcard, because everything was censored, with only 3 words on it. You were right. She was killed in Theresienstadt, and he was gassed in Buchenwald.
Wait, one moment. Okay? Begin, please.
I'm Soapmaker Master Chemist Dr. Emanuel H. Brunham. From 29 when I came here from Germany to 44, I built 3 American soap factories.
This is how you beat them up.
One in eastern Pennsylvania, one in Chicago.
Sorry, I just wanted to talk.
That model like you see, I got up to way back
It's
in
about funeral,
1912.
but it's how you kill
And now in
legends.
1944,
Other rank players play or practice. Got no black fool. Got no black fool.
At the moment I have $10,000 to protect 3 Muslim children on that farm in Wisconsin. I become the servant of God.
Oh,
Within 30 days, in September 1944, I had $60,000, licensing 6 or 53 patents. I quit my job as a chemist, and I became a searcher for truth.
But you gotta put a death blade on, and another one of those.
MS is truth in Hebrew. And so I learned beginning 1944 that what causes all the trouble on this earth